On this episode, I share whether or not you should flip a home for profit. Welcome everyone to this episode of the AskJasonGelios show. I'm your host, Jason Gelios, Michigan Realtor. Really appreciate you guys tuning in here. If you're not following me on social media, go ahead and do that. We will put the little icons right here, okay? And if you're on my website, it's allabouttherealestate.com. Sign up for my free, no obligation, spam-free, no spam, e-newsletter that will be going out every week. So I really appreciate you guys watching this here. Somebody was asking me, and actually it's not the first time I've been asked this, right? But it's something that I wanted to address. So should I flip a house for profit? And while profit can be made, I want to share with you some realities. And I don't mean to bring you down, right? If your hopes are high about this, but you have to know what's going on before you flip a home. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So I got some things here that I want to show. Now, HGTV, huge fan of HGTV, right? Obviously, in all those shows, but they don't share the complete reality of what home flipping does. They don't share the losses that they take, right? They make it look glamorous for a TV show. And I'm not knocking them in any way, but if you're gonna flip a home, you have to know certain things about, for example, what the market is doing, right? If it's a seller's market, you probably don't want to buy unless you get into like a foreclosure, right? But if you're looking to just purchase a home and flip it, you want to know what the market's doing, and you want to know if it is viable in your area. So I want to share with you some interesting statistics here. So in the first quarter of this year, right, January, February, March, about 49,000 homes were flipped. That's across the nation, right? It represented about 7.2% of all home sales. So now, just during that quarter, that's one quarter, okay? Now, since 2010, that is the highest flip rate we've seen, right? Because we got into the recession and all that fun stuff. So, oh, and by the way, for those of you who don't know what a home flip is, it's when you purchase a property, a home, you fix it up a little bit or a lot, depending on what you're doing, and you flip it. You put it back on the market and you sell it. So I want to share with you here too. Okay, so the average return on investment was about 38.7%. This is all according to Realtor Magazine and ATTOM Data Solutions. They grab solutions, and I don't endorse them in any way. This is just what I get in my inbox, and I want to share it with you guys, right? Information. So home prices are starting to ease a little bit, and mortgage rates are going lower, right? Mortgage rates are actually on a 6-week of declining aggressively. So one would say, "Oh man, I need to get into these houses and then flip them." Okay, but I want to share with you that overall, the percentage amount, the profit percentage, right, is actually less. So what does this mean in layman's terms? It means don't expect to just buy a home, flip a home, and make all of this money. It just doesn't happen, at least these days, right? Unless you're really aggressive. If you're in the higher price point and you buy something and you put 80 grand into it and it increases the value a lot, right? But most home flips are going to give you a little bit back. Now that's not bad, but you can also lose money too, right? You can buy a house, fix it up, and then you don't sell it for as much as you thought, or worse, you sell it for less than what your break-even point is. So it's all numbers. At the end of the day, it's all numbers, and you just want to look at, does this make sense, and where are you personally, right? Can you hold on to the property for an extra month if it doesn't sell? Can you afford that payment? Right? Things like that. So just know that the average home flipping return, the profit, is slipping a little bit. Okay? And I think a lot of times people see these shows and they're like, yeah, we bought this house for $150 and we put 30 grand into it and we sold it for, $250. That's not common. That's great for television, but that's not common. Here's some fun information that I want to share with you, right? So home flipping is most popular in these cities and states. So the hottest city, according to ATTOM Data Solutions, right, is that Columbus, Georgia is the hottest. They've actually increased by about 83%. Raleigh, North Carolina, about 73% increase. Charlotte, North Carolina, about 65%. McAllen, Edinburgh, Texas, about 55% increase in people flipping homes. Milwaukee, about 49%. San Antonio, about 47%. Houston, plus 41%. Atlanta, about 38% increase. Pittsburgh, about 36%. And Minneapolis, about 33%. Those are the highest. Now, the highest average gross flipping on their investments were in Pittsburgh, Flint, Michigan, and LA. So pretty interesting, right? I'm glad one of my cities was on there, right? Michigan. So the overall takeaway from this video is that you probably won't get rich off of flipping one house. It's like anything else. It's a business, and you have to look at the numbers and look at your budget, look at what money you have, and go from there. Don't expect to just flip a house and make 80 grand in one day. That just doesn't happen often, if at all. So it might happen to some higher price range investors, right, that are going out. They have a bunch of liquid, and they can take a higher risk like that. But for the most part, you are going to make a little bit less, and the profits that come off of a home flip are slipping down a little bit. Now that may change, right? We'll look at this again. I'll revisit it. But to answer the question, should you flip a home? I mean, I would. I'm looking at actually doing that. Although I'm more of a buy and hold kind of guy. I think that's a better strategy, is if you buy a home low, clean it up a little bit, and then have somebody rent it out for a while. I think that's a better strategy. You'll make more down the road, as far as I see. But some people want to just flip homes. So with that said, that's my answer to that question. Always dive into the numbers on your own. So really appreciate you guys tuning in to this episode, watching this. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on social media, sign up for my weekly newsletter. It gets sent out every week. It's value-added articles and helpful tips. So a lot of it is, videos like this. So really appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope you guys have a great week.